State lawmakers want answers after a federal agent shot and killed a man in South Texas and South Padre Island in March of last year. An attorney for the man's family says newly released video appears to not match up with how federal agents described the shooting. Capitol correspondent Dylan McKim spoke with a state lawmaker who wants to examine the facts in a legislative committee hearing, but that may not happen. And a warning, we are going to show the moments leading up to the deadly shots.
More than a year after his death, Texas DPS released video of the officer-involved shooting that killed 23-year-old Ruben Ray Martinez. Martinez was driving by a traffic crash investigation. The video shows officers try to stop his car after noticing an open container. Stop! Seconds later, a Department of Homeland Security agent fired his gun 3 times into the open driver's side window. The agent who pulled the trigger said in a statement to the Texas Rangers that Martinez hit another agent with his car. A grand jury last month decided not to indict the agent on criminal charges. But an attorney representing the family says they do not believe the agent's statements line up with what the video shows. A state representative is also trying to get answers.
Whatever it takes to get to the bottom of it, to get transparency and closure for this family, it's what we should be doing.
Democratic lawmaker Ray Lopez is the vice chair of the Texas House Committee on Homeland Security, Public Safety, and Veterans Affairs. Last month, he requested a hearing to look at the facts of the case. But there are questions on whether he can do that when the legislature is not in session. Chairman of the committee, Cole Hefner, has not scheduled a hearing 2.5 weeks since receiving the request.
It certainly seems like there's not a willingness to try to get to the bottom of it.
We reached out to Hefner to ask about the hearing request, but have not heard back.
It's state. These are state agencies.
But Dan Huberty, a former chairman of the Texas House Committee on Public Education, said ultimately a chairman has to decide if their committee has any jurisdiction over a federal agency.
And if the answer is no, we don't have purview, we don't have jurisdiction to do that, then we're not going to have political theater.
Lopez says he's also working with Texas Congressman Joaquin Castro to get answers at the federal level.
But at the end of the day, what we want to find out is, why did that officer shoot his weapon? Was it justified?
In Austin, I'm Dylan McKim.
And Martinez had a friend with him in the car when he was shot, but that friend died in a vehicle crash last month, just days before the grand jury hearing. An attorney for the family says they're looking for other witnesses and weighing their legal options.